What's going on YouTube? Vapor Function LA here. Today I'm going to be doing a box mod review on this Ciggo T temperature control device. This box is a pretty cool device. It's very nice looking, but I have some cons with this thing. But first off, let's take it down close and unbox this and show you a little bit more about the tank and everything. Alright, so we are up close with the Ciggo T temperature control box mod. This is the box that it comes in. It has all the information on the back and on the sides. Let's open this box up and see what's inside. So inside you have the user manual. The user manual has a whole bunch of pictures and text on how to use your device. Pretty explanatory. Put that to the side. You have your tank inside. This has a NI200 coil in here. I decided not to really use this coil just because I don't have a replacement, and I just wasn't really feeling this coil or tank just by looking at it. Tank wise, this is a nice tank. It has pretty good airflow is what I've given it a few little puffs. Not just to test the airflow. It feels pretty nice. I've heard pretty good things. But just looking at the coil, as you can see, it has the piece of nickel coil sticking out over here, just so when you bring it down it grounds out, and that's your ground connection on the coil. And the positive is just up here touching the top. I mean, you can't, it's pretty explanatory just looking at the coil. The threads and everything on this is pretty nice. Everything's pretty buttery smooth. The inside pin for your coils, brass plated or gold plated connection. On the bottom it's gold plated as well, or brass. It says clear tank T on the bottom. Screw the coil in. You cannot remove the top part of the tank, so cleaning, I'm not sure how easy it is. Probably pretty difficult. For the other part of this, you do have a juice flow control on the top. That's the only way the top screws and unscrews, but I don't think you can take it off. I've tried just to keep going and it doesn't go anywhere, so I believe it's not removable. You have your juice flow on the bottom so you can control it. Airflow on the very bottom. It's got two dual airflow rings on the bottom. It's got pretty decent airflow. It does come with an interchangeable drip tip. You cannot use your own drip tip on this thing. It has a silicone ring that's kind of shredded on here. I haven't even used this device, but that's just how it comes, I guess. It's a pretty nice looking tank. It has a rubberized finish. It's not really scratchable, but it is what it is. Alright, so we get into the box mod itself. And you have the box mod. It's very nice. Has a clicky button. It does have a 510 spring-loaded connection. On the bottom is your screen. So you click it 5 times to unlock. It gives you the option to go into voltage mode or temperature control mode. Say you go into temperature control. On the bottom, on the very left of this, it shows where your temperature changes. So that's where you set it at. And then when you vape on it, it should show in live time right here. When you click the fire button 3 times, it brings it into Fahrenheit. And you can change it on the side as well if you want to vape it in Fahrenheit. When you hold the 2 wattage up and wattage down buttons, or up and down, it'll bring it over to variable wattage or variable voltage, and you can change your voltage up and down. Click it 3 times, go into wattage. There you go. Bring it all the way up to 100 watts. And that's the maximum you can go. That basically sums up everything with this box mod up close. Take it back up top, vape on it, and talk a little bit more about it. Alright, so we are back. So we unboxed this thing. I showed you a little bit how it works. And just with this thing, I mean, the pros for this thing, it's 60 bucks. It comes with a tank. It's very cool. It comes with a charger, so you don't have to remove your batteries. It has 2 Samsung 25Rs in here. Another pro on this thing is the screen is kind of recessed and your buttons are very flat. So when you set it down on a table, it does not change your voltage or anything, or your wattage, or your temperature if you have a temperature control mode. Another pro is the button is very clicky, has a nice firing button. It has a spring-loaded 510 connection, so all your RDAs sit pretty flush on here. The middle of here of the mod is 20 millimeters, and the outside diameter wide is 22. I just wish that the sides sit a little bit taller so your RDA doesn't really hang off of there. Just for the pros, I guess, the looks, it's chargeable, and it's cheap, basically. It's very lightweight. That's another pro. But for the cons, there's just so many cons on this device. I just haven't really liked this device whatsoever. It really brings my eye to it. I mean, I really like Jade products. I like having things that are Jade. This really attracted me, and they offered me to do a review on this thing. But for me, it's a 100-watt device, and it's a regulated device, so the batteries are supposed to be in series. This thing vapes like it's not even in series. It vapes like it's a parallel device. I mean, why is it regulated if it's vaping like that? It says it's at 4.8 volts, and I'm at 100 watts. See, I'm at 100 watts on a 0.24, 0.25. It keeps jumping on this device. But I'm vaping a 22 gauge, one of my basic builds I always build. It's one of my favorite builds. Vaping at 100 watts, and it's vaping at 4.8 volts. So when I vape this, I mean, that's 100 watts. If we do comparisons, let's say I'm a vaping this at 58 watts. I have another device that I'm vaping at 58 watts. So let's say I'm going to vape this at 58 watts. Let me take this off. And I'm going to throw this on my other device that I've been using. And this device is at 58 watts. That's why I brought it to 58 watts. So I'm going to vape this for 5 seconds. We're going to count it for 5 seconds. $58 watts. That's a solid 5 seconds. I mean, we'll give it another vape for 5 more seconds. I mean, I just don't really want to bash on this product. I just like the way it looks so much. Just performance. I wish this thing performed way better. So I'm not screwing with you guys. So here it's at 58 watts. I don't know if you can see it. The screen is very small. But it's at 58 watts. I have it in my hand. I'm not going to change it. And I'm going to vape it at 58 watts. Let's do 5 seconds. Let's give it another try. 5 more seconds. I mean, the denseness and the warmth of the vape on the other mod that I have at 58 watts, it's just way, way, way more powerful, and you can feel it. You can feel that it's way more powerful. I mean, look at this. $58 watts, I'm not changing it. I mean, if you don't want a powerful vape, I mean, this thing could be for you. I mean, you're vaping at 100 watts all the way down to, let's see how low it goes. You can go 0.001 watt all the way to 100 watts. I mean, if you don't like a really powerful vape and you don't want to take your batteries and haul them around and just have a mod where you can just plug it in somewhere, then I would recommend this device for you. But in my own, like, honest truth, this box, I've had so many box mods, so many regulated, I make boxes myself. And with this thing, vaping at 100 watts, with comparison to another box, vaping at 100 watts, or like I said, 58 watts, and this thing at 58 watts, it's just not cutting it for me, honestly. That's my cons for this device. Price range, like I said, is $60. You can get this at 3fvape.com. That's the only place I found this. And you can also go to Bauway.com. I'm going to leave the description down below on this thing. If you want to pick one up just to have it in your collection, it's a very nice looking mod. It feels very nice. I mean, you can run it on a tank. I would highly recommend using like 26 gauge, 28 gauge, 30 gauge for this thing. Just have at least more of a powerful vape, because just with 58 watts vaping on my favorite build with 22 gauge, it just wasn't cutting for me. And both mods are both dual 18650, and they're both Samsung 25Rs, to be honest, because that's what I use in some of my mods. And it just wasn't cutting for me, really, because I don't know. I can't really say much. Just this device doesn't really fire that well, and if I lost this thing or broke it, would I buy one? No, I wouldn't buy it. So I'm sorry, Bauway. It's a nice looking mod, and I can't say that much good things about it. It just doesn't fire that much, and it's just gonna end up sitting on my shelf up here. And I'm probably not going to use it because it just doesn't fire how I want to fire it. Anyway, so if you guys enjoyed this video, if you found it very informative, please give this video a like and please subscribe to me. Stay tuned till next time, you guys. Stay strong, vape on. Peace out, you guys.